Well, hello and welcome again back to another Saturday, back to another cold Saturday as always here in the Midwest, to another episode of Let's Set the Tone. Appreciate everybody that's able to pop in here, whether live now or later on in post as well. But once again, here we are, and I've got another special guest, a legendary guest, as I keep saying as well too. Somebody been trying for a while to connect with and be able to sit down and talk to. So I'm really excited to talk to this fella here in a moment. Just a few things, housekeeping things right here at the Get. It's been a pretty good last week so far. I had a great episode with Toy Mercs on Wednesday. A lot of fun doing that. And then, of course, last night in World Makers Consortium, I was in tears, laughing so much with the crazy knockoff toys that everybody put together. So great shows. If you haven't seen either of those yet, go back, make sure to check those out. I'll talk more about that, of course, at the end as always. But other than that, really, it was a tough work week, honestly. It was very, very, very busy, very, very frustrating, very, very stressful. And at the very least, here we are in the weekend, and I got a new game that came out. It's been very divisive. This Crimson Desert, playing it on PC, back and forth. A lot of people what they think about it, but so far, I am actually enjoying it. So, but that being said, without any further ado here, I know we're having a little bit of audio issues. I want to make sure I get him in here soon just to kind of check see where we're at. Let's bring on, now I'm going to keep saying it, the legendary, the one and only, Timbo Toys. Hey Timbo. Good to see
Hey,
you. Can you hear me better now, or what are we looking at for levels? I know we were worried at first.
uh,
Am I pretty quiet
um,
still?
you're a little bit louder, so I can hear you.
Okay, sure, okay.
Yeah, you can
Because
hear me okay?
okay, they're saying my mic might be quiet out there. That's interesting. I am looking at my. It says check the mic. All right, hang on. Would never, ever, ever be a Banter and Babble production if there wasn't some sort of audio issue.
Oh, yeah.
How's that, everybody? How's that sound out there? Yeah, that's really weird. It shouldn't be. Timbo was much louder than me. Okay, yeah, and I even cranked myself up a little bit as well. So sounds like it's coming from my PC mic. Well,
Yeah.
hang
I
on.
can, I mean, I can certainly hear you, but just not super loud.
I see. I see. One moment. How's that?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what it did is it switched to my other audio. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Let's Set the Tone and an audio issue. But let's move on from that as fast as we can because, again, we have the legendary Timbo, and I don't want to waste any time being able to talk to you. So, uh, first thing here I want to ask you is I love asking this to everybody. Do you have any AKAs with your name, or is it just Timbo, or does anybody call you some fun nicknames we can have shared?
Pretty much Timbo's about it.
Timbo's about it.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
No Timmer, Timothy, Timely, nothing. I mean, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
no. My real name's Timothy.
Yeah.
Um, you
Right.
know, yeah.
Yeah. I
So I think
figured.
my wife was the first one to call me Timbo. So
Nice. She's the one that
yeah.
coined it. Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well,
Yep.
most definitely. Most excellent. Okay. So, have you always been kind of a Midwest guy?
Oh yeah.
Grew up in the
Yep.
Midwest.
Pretty much Indiana my entire life.
Yeah.
Few years I was out in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. Kind of Midwesty still,
What?
like on the outskirts, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah.
So, but I was very young then. So,
Right. I feel like you can just kind of tell when you're from the Midwest. I feel like we all kind of look at each other like family in some way. It's kind of
yeah.
funny, unless you're from Ohio. That's a little different, but
Yeah.
that's about the only time we're like, it's a cousin twice removed, but it is what it is. But
Oh man.
before we dive too deep, I just want to at least say hi to the chat here, as always, of course. My good buddy out there, Jehovah, is out there. Yes, please hit that like button. We do appreciate that. Good to see everybody. Good to see you. Abby, of course. Hello, Abby. She was one of the
Nice.
orchestrators of last night's
Hello.
tear of laughs. So good to see you. Nebula, always a pleasure, my friend. Yep, that's what everybody.
Hey,
I wasn't even saying, so
Nebula,
everybody.
Jehovah, Abby.
Man, good people in here. And then, of course, I know that's Brent, dude, who does the other content on Banter and Babble as well. So, Everybody was telling me to check the mic, and my computer literally switched my input on me. So
Ah,
again, appreciate everybody. Hey, look at that. We know that guy too. There's Bob. What's up,
hey,
Bob? Good
Bob.
to see you. Good to see y'all. Appreciate you guys being here this day here in the middle of the afternoon. So,
Yeah.
well,
Sorry if it sounds like I'm experiencing moments of puberty. My voice, I lost my voice earlier this week, and it's just the past couple of days has started to come back, but I still kind of feel it's a little bit weak. So
no, you
if you hear any
sound fine.
squeaking or anything like that, I'm
Right.
47. I've already been through puberty, so
Right. Well, I was gonna ask. I wanted to see how
yeah,
you've been feeling though. So yeah, I know we were
yeah,
talking earlier in the week.
feel
So
much better.
good. And you said you just happened to get COVID, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what I had, but yeah, it
Yeah.
certainly
Okay.
hit pretty
Yeah.
hard. So
Yeah. That's some of that stuff will take me out. I don't. I work from home, so like now the less I'm
oh,
out,
nice.
so when I do get sick, it's like I feel like I get beat up harder over it. So
Mm,
it is what it is. But
yeah,
perks, there's a perk at working from home, but there's also the opposite sometimes, and that's what
yeah,
happens
yeah.
when you get sick.
Do you work with that pretty well? Like, is that a good fit for you?
It is now in my life, and I worked 20 plus years in customer service.
Mm,
I really only ever had, well, I'm in my fourth job now at 46. Um, I was in food for 11 years, and then I moved into retail. GameStop, everybody hears me complain about that for
oh yeah,
14, and
yeah. Heard you
yep,
talk about that.
yeah, not not a fan. So and then yeah, I jumped into recruitment right around 2021. Place locally took a shot on me, and I didn't have any experience. I don't have any didn't have any
Mm,
experience in it, but they took a gamble on me because they knew that my customer service is something they couldn't teach. So
yeah,
um,
that's awesome, man.
and it's honestly, as much as I definitely don't miss retail or any of that past life. Those skill sets that I learned there, have made me very
Yeah,
successful in what I do now. So,
yeah.
definitely, thank you, Jay. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, no, it's great. I love it. Honestly, like after being out in the public and dealing with some of the just GameStop. I always
Crazy.
said GameStop. Yeah, 5 to 10% of the people that shopped at GameStop were actually true, just good people. Things of that nature. But most of them, especially because GameStop allowed that culture. I mean, it's a tier 2 business. You're basically a pawn shop, so you're
Mm,
catering and pandering to sometimes not the greatest of people.
yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their story. Don't get me wrong, but it was really rough. I mean, especially if you live in certain areas like I live, where you're getting threatened sometimes, physical violence,
Wow.
all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I was pretty over it. So
Yeah, I
um,
bet.
yeah. So now it's kind of like a treat. Lunch. I still barely take any time. I eat fast. I don't. I take 20 minutes or less, if that, on some days.
Mm,
So just to eat, play with the cats, and whatever. So
yeah.
Britt works from home too, so we get to
Oh,
chat throughout the day.
yeah.
So
That's nice,
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's something. So late in life,
I
got
think
something
I
I
would
always wanted.
struggle a little bit with that, just getting distracted and wanting to oh, see a
I,
couple
I,
action figures over there.
Let me tell you, if a shipment comes in from Savage Crucible, I am going
Yeah.
insane. Because I usually leave the rule. I'll open the box and maybe take the items out, but I won't open them until after work because
Mm,
honestly, recruiting, like, it can be a lot, and you really have to, every minute counts sometimes. So like I can't. I
yeah.
don't play. I don't even play games. People are like, "Oh, you can play video games." No, I can't. I don't have time for it. So it is what it is. But
Yeah.
awesome. Well, let's see here. I mean, shoot, if you want to flip the script, if you want to throw me some questions. I'm kidding. You can throw me some questions, but
Hey, I
um,
like talking with you, man. So,
yeah,
and we've
we are
met in person
talkers.
too. So,
Yes, and that was an absolute great time. It's probably one of the funnest like random trips that just kind of came up out of nowhere. For us to do. We had so much fun. And I tell you what, as a big sausage and gravy fanatic, I can't stop thinking about that
mm,
breakfast that we had that day as well.
at Bristol Street
That
Cafe, yeah. Oh,
Holy smokes, like the food was just unbelievably good. So, and
yeah,
the
I love that
price of
place.
it, like the price even was just like it's awesome. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'll definitely be down for some breakfast
I'm
at some
friends with
point.
the owner, so I'll have to tell him that you really like that. So,
Oh, yes, please. I think we were all pretty blown away by it too. I think most of us got the sausage gravy and biscuits, and it was
yeah.
just
Can't
I
go
mean,
wrong. Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that, but it can easily go wrong if it's not done right either.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
in my
Yeah.
opinion. Well, so just to kind of jump in
Mm.
here, I always like talking about kind of tracing back everybody. Maybe it's just me, maybe some small school, but I actually loved school growing up. I
Mm.
mean, hated waking up. Don't get me wrong, but my school was small. My elementary was small. My high school, things of that nature. So I always look back on that quite fondly. I feel like a lot of people I find didn't.
Mm. Mm.
For you, what did school look like growing up? Was that something that you enjoyed? And if so, what kind of subject did you kind of gravitate towards?
Yeah, I enjoyed school. My elementary school was half Amish,
Oh,
so
okay.
kind of an
Yep.
interesting thing. Just where I lived at was very country, and so we had half of the population was Amish,
Yeah.
and my I don't know if I necessarily had a favorite subject in elementary school, but I did like recess. Um,
Did like recess? Okay.
liked recess. We played,
Mm-hmm.
kickball. Love
Mm-hmm.
playing kickball.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's one of the
but
greats.
what's that?
It's one of the greats.
Oh yeah, kickball and dodgeball. Had a
I was
lot of
gonna say
that.
dodgeball is the other one. Yep, that was my two favorite as well. Yep. Yeah.
So and
Absolutely.
yeah, that was elementary school, and then we moved. By the time I was going into third grade, I think it was, and this school still somewhat rural, but connected to a bigger city. So
Okay.
no Amish, at this school.
Right.
So and we lived a little bit more kind of on the outskirts of town,
Mm-hmm.
and that was okay. I was from about third grade to fifth grade, I had a lot of fear because it's my school. The principal could still paddle, and
Oh, yeah,
he would
yeah.
he would
Gosh.
carry around a huge paddle sometimes in his back pocket just to like put the fear in you.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
and then they did have a rule where the principal and the bus driver, so the bus driver could paddle too. But I do remember when they lifted that, like it just kind of felt like, oh man,
Right,
you know,
right. I do think I'll say, like, if anything, back in the day, it was the bus driver that needed that paddle more than anybody else. I remember some
yeah.
of those bus rides.
Oh
It was
yeah, I saw our
it
bus
was
driver. He paddled somebody, man. Yeah, we had
yeah,
kind of a wild bus, but
yeah, yeah. Me too.
but yeah, pretty good memories with school. I would say for the
Yeah.
most part,
Okay. Okay.
like those younger years.
Right.
Um,
Right. Did
yeah.
you were you like a big reader growing up? Did you because like for me, like even as a kid, like I just couldn't absorb enough. I felt like
Mm. That for me hit later in life.
really okay.
Yeah, in
Okay.
school, like I can barely remember reading anything, and I remember in high school, a lot of the in our English class, we'd have to pick a book, read
Mm-hmm.
it, and then meet with our teacher to talk about it. And I'd pick a lot of books that were like comic book stories because
I
I
was
did read
wondering. I was
I did
wondering.
read a ton of comic books.
Yeah,
And I could just pick a book by its cover, like, Batman, Spider-Man, and sit down and tell her the whole story without ever,
that's
have read the
right.
book. So,
That's great. That's great. I
but
had a feeling. I had a feeling that'd be something
yeah,
I was actually. That was actually gonna be my next thing about reading. Like if it was more of a comic book thing. So when it
yeah.
came to your nerddoms like that, when let's start with comics, I guess specifically. Was there like where did you gravitate towards? Were you like a little bit of everything? Were you just like more of like a DC or like a Marvel?
I definitely was more Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the first comic book store that I went into, which was part of like a strip mall, and I think it's actually still there.
Awesome.
And I can remember kind of walking around inside. It wasn't real big inside the mall, but there were like different stores. And then the one of the last stores on the end was a comic book store, and
Mm-hmm.
they had like I think they had like a bin that had like four for $1.
Oh
That
man.
my parents turned me loose in, and I think a lot of them were like the
Oh,
Amazing
yeah.
Spider-Man, Man Thing, and some Micronaut comics that I still have.
Oh wow, some
Um,
Micronaut. That's a deep cut. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Spider Man's one of my favorites. Was that always one of your favorites? Or I guess like where did
yeah,
that? Yeah, Spider Man.
yeah, and I think I was before I was actually reading his comics. I was watching the show of like Spider-Man and his amazing friends with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Firestorm, I think it is, and Iceman.
Firestar, and Iceman.
Fire, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of an interesting combo. But yeah, I love
Mm-hmm.
that cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That kind of led into the comics. That's kind of based a little bit off like New Mutants or something, wasn't it? Or like
I
Spider-Man
think
and the
it was something different.
something
Yeah,
like man, what was that? Yeah, I think it's something like that. But yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, Spider-Man is still probably my all-time favorite. I just
yeah.
anything Spider-Man, his pantheon of villains, even like just
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. It's
so
hard to
great.
beat Spider-Man, and I was
Hmm.
also I like Daredevil a lot too.
Okay, yeah, that's a great
Definitely
one.
kind of drawn to him,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the Hulk. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
also one of
but
my favorites. He's definitely in my top five for sure.
oh yeah,
Micronaut. Oh
but
yeah, so Bob says those Micronauts comics had some good stories. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't heard. Seems like I haven't heard that name drop in a minute. So, um, nice. And then as far as like you kind of touch base with the cartoons and stuff like that. Were you a big cartoon watcher too?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I used to get up real early, like on Saturdays.
Hmm.
Actually, I mean, I was an early riser, and
Me too, as a kid.
yeah, so those
Hmm.
early morning cartoons, Scooby Doo,
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
was
oh yeah.
one that I watched a lot of.
Hmm.
The live action Batman show. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, because that was early on in Syndicate as well too, back in those
Yeah,
days. Yeah, oh
the
yeah.
punches,
Yep.
pow,
Yep.
and
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was similar to that. I felt like I would get up early back. I can't even do it now, but it was like like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe even earlier sometimes. And I was always
yeah.
the one that I would take the big salad bowl and like just mix like two or three different cereals,
Oh wow,
milk,
yeah.
and do just sit there for like hours eating this sludge of cereal and just
Oh
you know
yeah.
just focusing on those cartoons like that. Yeah, some of the classics.
Yeah,
Yep.
those
Yep.
old cartoons, He-Man
Hmm.
was a part of that.
Yep.
There was a lot of yeah, a lot of different ones. And
Hmm.
then as I came into elementary school, it was kind of the after school cartoons.
Yep.
Um DuckTales,
Oh God,
Tailspin,
that
Darkwing,
afternoon. That's the one right
yeah.
there. That's my favorite of all those is Darkwing. I love
Okay.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. But I do love DuckTales a lot too. NECA's releasing a Gizmo Duck action figure and a launch pad. And those are my favorite
Oh,
characters from
nice.
those. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that means that we'll eventually get some Darkwing as well too. That's my hope. So, oh, yeah, awesome. Yeah. So I had to figure. Yeah, I know we were kind of the same age. I figured a lot of the same stuff as well too. Did you get? Because I was pretty rural, so we had like three channels, so we didn't have a lot of options. Did you ever get
Yeah.
down on
We had the Farmer 5.
the far? Yeah. It's the same up here. The Where in the World is Carmen San Diego at all on PBS? Did you ever get on that at all? The geography show.
No, I think I missed that one. I think my
Mm-hmm.
sisters, who are a little younger than me, I
Mm-hmm.
think they might have got onto that, but
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
I
hooked
kind of
on that.
missed
That
that
was my
one.
favorite. Yeah, it was my favorite after school overall. Probably, I was just
Okay.
hooked on that. It was, and that's what led probably started the early like lead into like my history background and things like that. It's all geography and like
Oh yeah,
history knowledge. So I was just like,
yeah. I
I
remember seeing a
played the
few
game.
of those episodes, but yeah, that was.
Hmm.
I think it might have been just a little after me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
but
So I know the probably the big elephant in the room on that when we're talking like fandoms and stuff like that early, and I remember from a couple of like either your room tour I think with grown ass men toys, but Star Wars started at an early age for you as well, correct?
oh yeah, yeah. I was had the action figures way before I ever saw the movies.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
a young kid, I was always
Hmm.
busy, always doing something. So I think my parents bought me those toys, hoping that it'd give me some action, to
Right.
play with them. My first figures were like Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, the Emperor, and a Biker Scout. The Biker Scout was like my favorite looking one of them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was, way before got to actually see the movies, but I still love the figures. I also remember picking up some Tron figures,
Oh.
kind of in that
Okay.
time too as well. I still have my, I think it's Sark's, the red one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Still have that figure. But I think the other one, one of my dogs chewed. So, um,
Yep. I
but
get it.
good memories as a kid of like going to like malls, which is probably why I built a sci-fi mall because I like malls and
Had a feeling.
just finding those toys. I remember going to a toy store called Children's Palace,
Hmm.
which looked like a white castle with like a red roof,
Oh
and
man, that's cool.
it seems like it seems like it was floor to ceiling with like Star Wars action figures. Just almost kind of this mythical place that, I just, that memory just continues to like, run in my
Yeah.
mind as that, moment and seeing that.
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm. Man, I didn't. So mine was like, it, I, when I first watched Empire was when, because I think I started late on the Kenner toys, more later probably in the '80s, and so we
okay.
lived out so early, like it was hard to drive anywhere. It's like a 45-mile circumference of trying to like go anywhere, 45 minutes for
Oh
anywhere
man.
population.
Yeah.
So for me, it was garage sales. That's how I amassed at one point a bunch of Kenner toys, and a friend of mine. Growing up, he didn't want them anymore. He was a couple years older than me. He kind of grew out of them a little bit faster,
Mm,
so I would go over there. They'd have garage sales, and me and my grandpa would just start scooping them all up. So
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. And I wish I still had all my Kenner stuff. I sold them all as like a 14-year-old,
Uh,
12, 12. I wanted the money. I took them to a comic book shop because I wanted the money for
yeah.
comics. So
Oh yeah. Trade it
yeah,
in.
yep. So that was that's definitely affected me my entire life. But what so I know you still got a lot of your original Kenner toys still. You still have them though, right? You do.
I did. Yeah. I for some reason, out of all the toys that I kept
Mm-hmm.
my Star Wars stuff. So I have my
Mm-hmm.
original like Star Wars figures that are very well played with.
Mm-hmm.
My X-wing that's missing a whole wing.
Yep.
Um,
Remember seeing that.
and I also kept. I was into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Mm-hmm.
Really got really into that.
Same.
A little later in the '80s, and
Mm-hmm.
so I still got all those as well. So
Do you? All right. So do
yeah,
I. So do I. Would keep telling everybody I got this chest of them over there. It's the only ones from my childhood that I still got left, and I don't know if I should keep them or, move on from them. I don't know. It's a tough debate because
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I
I don't know.
feel the same way.
Yeah, it's just
I do like
they're
the
just
new
sitting there.
NECA turtles. I like the NECA turtles and stuff. They're really cool.
Yeah, I like the NECA a lot. The Joy Toys really caught my eye too for a little bit of that extra
Oh
realism
yeah,
level. Like, yeah, they've done a lot, and Turtles never, in my opinion, never gets old. So they've
yeah,
continued to be popular over time.
yeah.
So as far as your Kenner Star Wars, what do you have one in that collection that either was from your childhood or that you've picked up later on? But do you have a favorite of what you've got in that old school line?
Yeah, probably would be Boba Fett because I've got about three or
Mhm.
four of him. So
Do you have a launcher one?
no, no,
No. Yeah. Okay.
the
That was always one of my
mythical
holy
rocket
grails. Yep.
launch one. Yeah,
Yep. That's always been a holy grail. I know they're very
yeah,
rare, but yeah. Okay.
yeah. For
Okay.
some reason I have a memory of being able to launch the rocket, but I think it's because there was a picture
I
on some of
believe
the
so.
cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm thinking of. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I've looked at mine and none of mine launch. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Years ago, literally probably about I want to say 10 years ago. Of course, I hadn't had any of the old school Kenner stuff in a long time, but when I was a kid, I had the Boba Fett for a very small period of time, and a friend of mine threw it, and I could never find it.
uh,
So I was
mm,
at a Comic Con about 10 years ago, and it's not obviously in a card or anything, but it's in really great shape. I finally just to have it. I did
yeah,
buy an old school Kenner Boba Fett just to say I've got one in my collection, just to have
nice.
it. So,
Yeah,
um,
that was such a cool figure to me, and
yeah,
I thought it was just a cool figure before I ever saw him in the movie.
right,
Like,
yeah, absolutely,
just man, he looks really cool, and
yeah, yeah,
um, yeah, I can
man,
remember when I first saw Star Wars. I was probably 5 years old, and I was staying at my aunt and uncle's house, and my parents, I think, it probably told him, "Hey, he gets up really early, so try to have something, for him to do."
right,
And
right.
they had Star Wars: A New Hope ready to go
Awesome.
for me. And the thing I most remember about that is the cantina scene. You know, when Luke and Obi-Wan walk in, all
Mm-hmm.
the aliens, and as a kid, a 5-year-old, that like really scared me.
Oh, did it? Okay, okay.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
really
fair.
scared.
That's fair.
Just remember some of those, some of the aliens, just the way they looked
Mm-hmm.
like, and the movie just, really captured my attention. And I was hooked on Star Wars ever since.
Yeah. No,
So
that's a good one too. I probably
absolutely love that, man.
since you brought that up, I'm gonna flip a couple questions around, and get right to this right away. Then, so who do you feel shot first?
Um, I say Han.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's kind of what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Because after that, remember if you George did the special editions and he flipped it
Yeah,
and had
and I
Greedo
think you
shoot
see,
first.
yeah, you see Greedo's shot go kind of up in the wall or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep. And that was not what 90, 95 or 94 or something like that when they did that. I don't
yeah,
remember for sure.
yeah. I remember
Yeah,
those special editions coming out,
yeah. Saw him in the
and some of
theaters.
the edits, and
Mm,
yeah, yeah. I say Han shot first, but
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Classic. That's why I roll with as well too. So, is Boba your favorite Star Wars character, or who is your favorite character?
Um, out of like all the movies and shows and all that, is
You
that
could
what you're?
even just if it's easier to go OG trilogy too, because I feel like
Yeah,
we stand about the same in a lot of the newer stuff as well. So,
yeah,
however you want to look at that. I mean, yeah, you could.
yeah.
I mean, if you want to go cartoons and shows or whatever, or split it, say this is my favorite OG trilogy or this is my favorite now kind of
Okay,
character. However you want to do it.
yeah, that might be fair. OG trilogy, I think I definitely did like Boba just on the way he looked. And, he didn't really do much,
Hmm.
other than just kind of stand there. Um, but I don't know. That was kind of the start of like those kind of being drawn to some of those background characters, that
Hmm.
don't do a lot, but maybe just have the cool factor.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, because I mean, if you look at Boba Fett in the OT,
Hmm.
he's kind of doesn't have like the best impression. I
Hmm.
mean, he did capture Han, but then he's got a brand new Jedi kid just swinging that lightsaber like a baseball bat and gets knocked into the Sarlacc pit. Just
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Classic,
But
classic.
I did like him just on the cool factor and the way he looked.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
say that's for the OT. I really liked Obi-Wan in the prequels.
Hmm.
I liked
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan was just
Hmm.
perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, he's just, yeah, awesome.
Hmm.
But and then shows, am I going all the shows? Because there's a lot of shows.
How? Yeah,
I
you can just like one of your more favorites. Just like if all the shows however you want to do it. If you want to name just a couple of them, or just I'm just curious to kind of get an idea of like some of your favorites. I got some ideas that I think might be your favorites. I'm just trying to see if some of these match up. So just yeah,
Yeah,
you can just throw out some of your favorites that you can think of.
yeah. I mean, I like Darth Maul.
Hmm.
I really thought he was cool. I really wish they would have kept him through all three movies as
Same.
kind of the
Yeah.
the main villain. And I am glad that he got brought back the way he did because that
Hmm.
he's just cool.
Yep.
I like Jango Fett a
Hmm.
lot. I thought that was awesome to see a non Jedi character take on a Jedi
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
not get killed. Like that
Right.
was really amazing. And
Hmm.
the all the myth, the mythology about the Mandalorians and you know just to see that on the screen kind of taking place
Yeah.
was really cool. And so I really like Django. Um, um, man, the other shows, of course, I like the Mandalorian. Like
Hmm.
um, that's kind of an exciting, been an exciting series. Really liked IG-11
Yeah.
when he was steamrolling through everybody and all
Right.
that.
Right. Right. Right.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That's definitely some ones I kind of figured. I knew because I was pretty sure like you also lean pretty heavily into like the Mandalorian thing just generally. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
big fan, big fan. Yeah, Bob, me too. I am very stoked about that new Darth Maul one
Oh
coming out.
yeah,
I cannot wait because yeah,
yeah, that
again,
looks
same
really
like
good.
yeah, that looks really. I'm a big fan of Sam Witwer just generally because of his Star
Yeah,
Wars love and fandom, but more of him doing Maul is perfect for sure. So
yeah, that's gonna
um,
be it's kind of a cool idea of like a criminal syndicate up against the Empire.
yeah, and we got shades of that with Solo, and then
Yeah,
even with season 7 or parts of the Clone Wars. But because Solo didn't do well because of Last Jedi not doing well, people shunned it. And I really liked Solo personally. It's one of my more favorites of the newer
yeah,
era. So, but we
yeah.
wanted more story of that, and we didn't get that. So now if they can do that in some form of like animation. I don't know if it'll. I don't. I think it takes place a little bit before that, maybe, and he's kind of building
Yeah,
to that part.
yeah.
But I'm hoping if we
It,
don't get like if not a Solo 2 or something, maybe we can get an animated version of that, right, or something
hmm
more to kind of put that stuff together.
Yeah,
Because I want to know what
yeah,
Kiara's doing and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
I'm
very
really
curious.
looking forward to that. Probably more so. to the Darth Maul than the movie. I am excited about the movie, The Mandalorian, but I think I'm more excited about Darth Maul.
I am. I am. I just that the Mando and Grogu looks like. I'm just gonna reserve my. I'm not gonna go see it. I'm gonna wait. I'm reserving my opinions till it's out digitally, or I can see it later or something, or I see some reviews. It just feels and looks soulless from taking a great Western kind of like edgy story on in the Outer Rim to now this like big screen. It's. I just think Disney wants to get that Grogu money, and I
Yeah,
feel like it's product instead of like something else, and that kind of
yeah,
that's a
yeah. I think
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a rabbit
I'm
hole I
hoping
know.
it's really good, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. What's your top three favorite Star Wars films? I know there's a lot out
Um,
there. Well, now there is, but you know,
yeah. Um, well, I'd have to say A New Hope would be probably the top one
hmm
because of that history that I have with it. It introduced me to Star Wars
yeah,
and just really sets up that whole universe well.
hmm
Um, that was great. I also think Return of the Jedi was really good.
yeah,
Like I really liked I don't know, just it kind of almost had that episode 4 New Hope feel with Jabba and his palace and
yeah.
all
The
the goons in
creatures,
his palace.
yeah,
And then, the travel to Endor, was really cool to me with the Ewoks, the biker
hmm
scouts, because I always liked the biker scouts.
right.
Um, and and then I think it's probably a toss up between Empire or Rogue One.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
knew.
because
I had a feeling.
Rogue One was really, really like a surprise,
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
breath of fresh air. Like
yeah.
that
Absolutely.
was just done really well. Um, so
That's right. Yeah,
that
Bob's right. If Disney can make a Star Wars movie cash cow again, then it'll probably mean more toys for us. That is true. That is one perspective. That is definitely
yes.
one perspective as well too. Hey, welcome there, fam, and good to see you, my friend.
Hey, famine. Yeah, I think
Good
it's
to see
been.
you. Good to see you.
I think somebody said it's been 8 years since Star Wars has been in the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Has it been that? Oh my gosh, it has been, hasn't it? Yeah, 'cause was it 2008? No, was it 2018?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Okay.
wasn't that was I think it was Rise of Skywalker was the last one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hey,
What is up,
Ian.
Mudhorn? Good to see you, buddy. Um. Yeah. Yeah. So I will. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this ends up going. We'll definitely see. Um. So kind of spinning into that. And I want to kind of turn a little bit, but like I know because like obviously Star Wars is a big piece of who you are as well. But as far as your creativity, I'm assuming Star Wars probably played a big part in that. But were you creative early on as a kid too? Did that inspire you to be creative? Did you draw? Did you do a lot of coloring? Did you come up with stories or anything like that back then?
Um, yeah, I certainly tried to draw. A lot of things. I'm definitely not an artist,
hmm
like with pencil and paint.
Sure.
You know, um, but yeah, my friends and I were always feel like we were getting together with our figures and creating some kind of world and playing some kind of game, and then that even turned into trying to like make our own like board game type of thing,
Oh,
out of
okay.
some of this.
Yeah.
Um, Nothing really ever came of that, because just I think we'd end up arguing and fighting about the rules. So,
Yeah.
but definitely, I think just the fact that I don't know, maybe I was outside a lot, had a lot of time, just led to some of that creativity. And
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I don't know that I'm necessarily a super creative person, but
I think
I
there's people
can,
around here that might debate you on that one.
I can sometimes come up with stuff. So,
Yeah,
but
I'd say so. I would say so. So as far as being good with your hands, because that's one of the things that I think that you do really well, and you're kind of known for. I feel like is being able to work with your hands or come up with ideas. That's why I'm saying like your creativity sometimes when you're building some of these different buildings and things of that nature. Like,
hmm.
did you just start playing around with stuff at an earlier age, or was that something that just kind of developed as you got older?
Um, yeah, I don't know if I necessarily was doing that kind of stuff early on, other than maybe just in my mind trying to imagine stuff. We
hmm
were always digging stuff outside, making different things outside. I don't know, but trying to build forts and stuff like that in the yard and the garden, and getting in trouble with our parents. Hey, what are you doing? Don't
Mm-hmm.
dig that up. You know, but the building stuff that really kind of was a result of 2020.
Right.
Um, I learned to paint miniatures and got into Star Wars Legion, the war game.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I got a box of those.
okay, yeah. Did you paint them up? And
Buddy did. Buddy bought him. He was gonna get into it, and like he always typically does, and then didn't dive too deep into them. There's just a massive box of them that need to be painted. I
oh
always thought I
yeah,
would get to painting them. Then my life has turned into where I paint now, and now 6 inch. So, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's where I started was with miniatures, and then
nice.
um, I was trying to do some world building scenarios with Star Wars Legion and the war games, and that's when I stumbled across a lot of the world builders. Rad Toys.
Okay.
At the time, Skybottom had some videos on world building. He's not been super active lately, but he initially early on I saw some of his videos about people taking their figures and
Mm-hmm.
building these stations, and that led to discovering Empire Toy Works and seeing some of
Right.
the stuff he did, and just thinking, oh, that's really really a kind of a cool idea. And my original way of collecting was I was usually an in the box collector. Um,
Yeah. That's how I started too.
just
Yeah.
yeah, buy it, hang it on the wall. Looks cool. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, still got a ton of action figures hanging on the wall in the box.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And now you're making them too, so that's even cooler.
yeah, now I'm
Put.
customizing them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um. Random question. Tell everybody here exactly what Amish crack is.
oh yes. Did you get to try any of that? I'm trying to
No,
remember. No.
no. Remember,
We,
we were out, but
y-
we did get some donuts, and we were like, "This is unbelievable!" I'm a big donut fanatic. Clearly, I mean, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We
those
have
were donuts were
something.
amazing.
Oh yeah, we have something here that's called Rise and Roll Donuts, Amish owned and Amish made, and these donuts are a cinnamon caramel, and you take a bite that it's just so good. Now not everybody likes cinnamon or caramel, so not everybody might like them, but man,
I
most
do.
people just love them, and we call them Amish crack. That's kind of the nickname for them around here.
Right, right, because they sell
So
out. Sounds like pretty fast on it. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
crazy.
was really
That's
hoping to
awesome.
get you guys some. I'll have to
Yeah.
next time. We'll have to make sure that happens.
Yeah, we'll have to do that sooner. We'll go there for breakfast, right? Just get a bunch of
Yeah, yeah,
donuts and some Amish crack. Yeah, the donuts were unbelievable. I'm a like that. That's like where my sweets and my favorite when it's not really some candies, sure, but like mine is like pies and like donuts or pastries or something
donuts.
like that. So
Oh
when
yeah,
we had when I had a couple of those donuts, I was like, I remember there was a couple of us outside eating these, and we were like, this is unbelievable. Like this is like really really good. You can just tell a lot of love goes into it. So
yeah, and those ones were probably not fresh, real fresh either. So,
it's
um,
crazy.
feel like yeah, I got to get you guys to the right experience with that. So
Right, right, right. I would move in if I had the ability to probably. So, um, one of the things that I really really there's a couple of you too, and you were one of the two I can think of initially off the top of my head, but it was originally you first that I could tell right away that you're a big music guy,
mm,
very big music guy. I feel like your taste is pretty diverse, but you're also a
definitely.
big vinyl collector, correct?
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Yeah,
I've probably
it's
got maybe about 300 albums on
wow.
vinyl.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I got into that. But yeah, always been a big music fan. My friends and I in high school kind of dropped action figures in search of like music CD. In high school, it was CDs.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Same.
you
Same.
know, we'd spend a lot of time going to record stores after school, just
Hmm.
digging through the CD bins and trying to find various imports or just new music that we hadn't heard
Yeah.
before. Spent a lot of
Yeah.
time doing that. So, but in 2015, my wife bought me a record player. Um, and that's kind of what started me, picking up a lot of albums, on vinyl
It's
and
awesome.
listening to them that way, which is very. I'd never done that before, so that was totally new to me.
Hmm.
But definitely a really cool way to, collect music. So I
Hmm. Hmm.
like the aesthetic of it, the the size of the records. And records have gone up a little bit, but then I could go into a store and get four records that were all pretty decent records for like $1. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
were like 25 cents a piece. Um, and just so that's how I built my collection up, was really just going to thrift stores, antique stores,
Yeah,
um, and finding really good deals on records. So, but now
that's
I
great.
now it seems like every antique store, every booth in the antique store has at
Yes.
least one box of records.
Yes, matter of
Yeah.
fact, I read the stat this week that said vinyl sales last year were the highest since 1984,
Oh wow.
which is
Yeah.
which speaks to that as well. And um, so what would do you have a vinyl in your collection that is either maybe worth a lot or just something that's just really precious to you? Anything in particular that jumps out?
Hmm. Um. Well, I do have a 45 of my parents were in a gospel like quartet group, and they
Okay.
cut a 45, and I have their
Oh,
45.
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty
So
awesome.
that'd
I
probably
love
be
it.
my most like special one. Although, you
Yeah.
know, they kind of laugh about it because they it's probably one of those things where you sign up for making like 1,000 of them and you sell 20 of them. So
Right.
they've got
Right. Right.
tons of
Right.
them.
Yeah.
But
Do,
yeah, that one's kind of cool. Uh, there's some other different ones. I don't know right offhand. Some of my jazz ones, are kind of cool. Like,
okay.
they're a little bit harder to find artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so, but yeah, I definitely have a very diverse, taste in music. So jazz, blues,
Hmm.
classic rock, metal,
Hmm.
country,
Yeah. A little
hip hop,
everything.
rap.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I could tell right away that you were a pretty big music guy, just based off of like, well, it really started with just your posts with the music you were selecting. I'm like, man, he's. I feel like I could just get the vibe that you were specifically. You knew
Mm.
what music you needed with some of these photos, and I was like, yeah, he's a music guy for sure. And then
Oh,
again,
yeah.
watching like your room tour and things in that nature, and seeing the vinyls, I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely big music guy. Well, I think it was probably Roddy opening the store there in the South Shore
Yeah.
Mall. It's probably the real
Yeah.
dead giveaway for me. But they do say vinyl, and I don't know if I'm saying this accurate in the right way, but vinyl apparently is one of the most purest forms that you can hear music on a piece of media. Is that accurate? Are you familiar with that terminology? Or
Yeah, that's what they say. I know
yeah,
they've been working on like different ways to like make digital better, and so um, I know there's
yeah,
some arguments about certain forms of digital
yeah,
can be even more pure, but um, yeah, it is really cool just to have that the way you interact with a record. You have to,
mm-hmm.
you know, take that out, put it on, drop that needle.
Yeah.
You got to kind of stay there too, because at some point you're going to have to flip it over. Um,
Right, right. There's a whole process. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And I could see why, people that started on vinyl probably were, filled with joy when CDs came out, and like, I don't have
Right,
to flip it, Um,
right, right,
but we're
right,
kind of
right.
going backwards to that more analog way of, doing
We
things. And
are.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm. I did, speaking of which, Bob made the joke. My parents had a ton of 8-track tapes. It's funny that
Oh, yeah.
those never made a comeback yet,
My
right? It's
parents had those. Yeah, those have not
yeah.
revived yet. So,
No, no, we'll see. But yeah, because I was, cassette tapes. I loved cassette tapes, and then I was a big CD guy. At one time, I had like 350, 400 some CDs
oh,
in the
yeah.
90s. Like
Wow.
I had BMG and both Columbia House,
Yeah.
right? And then we would go to Tower Records or wherever, like all, just the same, like too, just massive fan of CDs and stuff like that too. So, but I do love like when Spotify first became a thing over 10 years ago. I was blown away by that because I'm like, I have access to every piece of
Oh,
music potentially ever created. Like this is mind blowing me, and I still do use it, and I understand the arguments against it as well. I'm not gonna debate that, but
yeah.
um, because I think it's not good for the artist necessarily. So I understand that, but I'm just a music guy, so like I have to listen to music, most of the time. So for me, it's
Yeah.
just easy on the go access. But
Oh, yeah.
um, we do buy vinyls around here as well, so it's definitely something like I'll see like a certain matter of fact. I saw The Labyrinth, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
doing a 40th anniversary vinyl of the soundtrack that David Bowie
Oh,
did for that. So I'm like,
nice.
I'm probably gonna have to pick that up for the collection, right? So, but yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely one of my
Yeah.
favorites now is to
Yeah, I
collect
mean,
the analog, like you said.
Our Walmart's got a pretty robust selection of vinyl records too.
Really? No
Yeah,
kidding. I didn't realize big retailers even like that too. I just assumed online. Okay.
yeah, they've had quite a few, and actually a lot of really good choices. A lot of '90s stuff,
Yeah.
So
That.
like the Metallica's "Injustice
Mm-hmm.
for All," the Black Album,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which the Black Album's one of those that it's kind of up there in my top three albums that I can just listen to from the beginning to the
Okay.
end.
Okay. Okay. Have you seen them live?
No,
No.
not Metallica. I did see Megadeth. Um,
Okay. Saw
they're
Megadeth.
one of my others. One of my other favorites I liked.
Okay.
Growing up, but yeah, I saw them.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Never seen Megadeth. Seen Metallica twice. Um, I know that's always divisive when it comes to Metallica fans. A couple of my best friends are massive Metallica fans, so I just by proxy get to go to some of these concerts.
okay.
But if you ever get a chance, I will tell you that all the concerts I've been to, and while Metallica might not be in like my top favorites necessarily, I do love and respect and enjoy a lot of their music. All of it. Like I know a lot of people, there's certain albums they drop off. Say there's only four.
Yeah,
As a Metallica fan, I like it all. I'll intake it all. I'm not gonna dive into that with folks on that because there's people that are
sure.
really hardline against that. But it's definitely crazy to see them live too. It's just a different experience.
Oh,
I feel like
yeah,
compared to a lot of other bands that I've seen live. So
I can imagine.
yeah, it's
That's
something else there.
I saw Megadeth. Not it wasn't maybe 5 years ago or so.
Hmm.
And man, they were really impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
just the sound and just really like clean and sharp and
Nice.
it was really really good show. Dave Mustaine, man, he was rocking it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he get
Really
a
cool
chance
to
to complain
see.
about Metallica at all, or no?
No,
Every time I see him in an interview, man,
uh,
he just he tees off on him. Welcome, Gen X.
yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh,
He likes to tee off
yeah.
on him any chance he gets. Awesome. And then
Saying hi to Gen X Brian there is in the chat.
yeah, good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Mhm.
Is '90s your era kind of music, kind of too, because that teenage kind of
I'd
time frame?
I'd say so. Yeah,
Probably,
that's
yeah.
kind of
Same.
that definitely like early '90s.
Hmm.
You know,
Grungy, alternative.
yeah, when grunge was grunge and metal was metal.
Hmm. Yep.
So and
Yep.
you kind of had a a separation between the two.
Hmm. But
Yeah,
some of us loved it all, right? So
yeah, yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
I think
Uh,
my and sorry if I'm jumping ahead on your questions, but my
no,
all-time
you're doing
probably
fine. This makes it
okay,
easier for me if you do. So don't worry.
okay.
No
I
worries.
should say my favorite album. I've got a couple of them, but the first one would be Weezer's Blue album.
Oh gosh,
I just
it's one of the
yeah,
greatest from
I
that
remember that
era.
when that came out. It was just
Hmm.
again every song just seemed like it was good.
And that entire album, front to back, just seems like
Yeah,
you and your friends could pick up instruments and be subpar at them and be in your garage and play music and it would
yeah,
sound great. That's the way it was to me. And I was a big D&D player at that time, so like
okay,
you didn't hear a lot of like musicians talk about D&D and they're talk about D&D in one of their
oh
songs
yeah,
and different things. It's just like, it's just perfect era. That scratches an itch for sure.
yeah. Yeah, and my second favorite album that I could listen to front to back is a little older, but it's Derek and the Dominoes.
Derek and the
And
Dominoes.
that's Eric Clapton. It was a band that
Oh.
he did. Layla, was on there,
Mm-hmm.
and they had some other. They had one of the Allman Brothers playing guitar on Layla. Um, they say that you can tell it's one of the Allman Brothers. I think it was maybe Dwayne Allman, who was a really like a guitar prodigy, I think. And
Yeah.
they say you can tell that he's playing on that because he's slightly out of tune.
Awesome.
I wouldn't notice, but I did have a
Right.
chance to this past fall. My wife and I had gone out to Boston, and we
That's
saw
right.
Eric Clapton in concert,
Yeah. Yeah. He's
and
one of
it was one of the best shows. He's 80 years old,
Yeah, and he's one of the greatest
and
guitar players of all time, hands
he,
down.
he came out rocking it, man. Came out,
Yeah.
they opened up with Cream's White Room,
Oh
um,
God. Yeah. Love Cream.
and just yeah, it was an amazing show. I think it
Yeah.
was about 3 hours long,
That
which is
makes sense.
pretty amazing for somebody that's 80.
Yeah.
Like he did like an electric set, had a slight pause, and then they did an acoustic set,
Oh
and
wow.
then went back and did an electric set.
Wow.
And then everybody was
Wow.
cheering so long, for the encore. He came back and did, I think, maybe one or two extra songs. So
That's awesome. That's
it
awesome. And
was really cool.
if I remember correctly, there were some action figures on that trip.
Yeah, yeah, I took some with me and
Yeah.
took some pictures and
He did. He did.
yeah, Timbo, yeah, down by the water's edge and
Hmm.
telling stories.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of funny, when we were out, like, we were at one of the parks. I think it was Arcadia National Park. It's in Maine because we went up to Maine too as well, and they had really like cool giant rock like shores, and so I took my pack of figures and was setting them up, and there were other photographers there that were taking like photography of like the sunset and
Right,
and stuff, and
right, right,
they were
right.
like they were watching me because I'm like setting little things up and like taking pictures.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how my wife felt about that because she was kind of nearby, kind of watching them, and as they were watching me.
She's like, I don't know this guy. No.
But
Awesome.
that was fun, man. There's some really cool spots to shoot
Hmm. Hmm.
out there,
Um,
natural spots.
yeah, I just remember seeing you were doing those. I was like, oh man, he's getting some angles, some outside spots, some good stuff. That's a good set of photos too.
Yeah,
I never think to do that hardly at all. Like take some figures with you and do some photos. So I
yeah,
think I need to do that more. I like that a lot.
yeah. Oh man, that would go really well with like the Savage Crucible stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's when I'm kind of waiting for the weather to turn so I can get maybe some outside shots and stuff like that too. That's the goal. Hey, dead man, good to see you, buddy.
Hey,
Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend.
yeah.
What about so I do have a. I'm thinking of just me and just trying to think of like if there's another album. There's probably a few that I can feel like front to back that I'm a big fan of. But one of my all time favorites from that era is Live Throwing Copper. Do you got any thoughts on
Oh,
that?
what's that?
Do you got any thoughts on that? Are you a fan?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely
That's
like
a front to
them.
back
I
to me.
think I have that CD.
Hmm.
But yeah, they were really good. Candlebox, you remember them?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Candlebox was pretty
and
awesome. Oh
Collective
yeah.
Soul and
Yeah. Yeah.
ah yeah, I kind of really started to kind of try and like I said, we go to the record store and really
Hmm.
try to find new bands, and so some of those new bands I remember finding in the '90s, the Melvins,
Oh yeah.
which I think
Yep.
a lot more people know the Melvins now than
Right.
they did in the '90s, but they were really kind of a cool discovery.
Hmm.
Another one was Corrosion of Conformity.
Oh yeah.
You remember them? Kind
No.
of more in the heavy metal thrash kind of
Okay.
genre, um,
Okay.
but really had some cool like guitar riffs. Um,
Yeah.
and some of the early Corn stuff, really really cool.
Yeah. I liked early
There,
corn a lot.
yeah, there was a group that was kind of in the vein of like Pantera. They were called Propane, um,
Hmm.
and then
Not familiar.
a group that I think um, somehow was connected to the band Sepultura, but it was I think their drummer started a group. It was called Grip Incorporated,
Okay.
um, and it kind of a cool sound. But yeah, I just did
Unusual.
love trying to find new music and
Yeah, you really explored. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah.
digging into
Okay.
stuff. So we
Yeah.
were big Nirvana fans too. My friends and I like love
Mm-hmm.
Nirvana. Trying to find
Same.
all like their imports and just
Yep.
yeah,
I've got some of their imports, single B A's B side, all these different sides and stuff like that. That was my band of the '90s, and that was one of my all time. Is still one of my all time faves for sure. So
yeah. And
big
Alice in
Nirvana.
Chains, of course, was
Oh
a
yeah.
favorite. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Mercs. Hey, good to see you, Mercs. He lost him at Corn. Yeah, I liked the first two or three maybe albums of Corn as they got for me. I've seen them 3 times by proxy, honestly, but they're all right. Bleach is a
yeah,
dope record. The nice thing about Bleach, which is I know that was always one of Kurt's more favorite too because it was much more raw compared to a lot of the other stuff that continued to get more studio sounding. That's why I
yeah,
think with In Utero they went out to that like that cabin and kind of tried to kind of reshape that old school sound and feel that raw and less production soundy. So yeah,
yeah.
Bleach is a pretty gnarly album. It's definitely a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
more punky too. I feel like so
yeah. And
definitely.
Incesticide was another one that we kind of liked.
Very
Um,
underrated one. I was a big fan of that album.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. And
Awesome. Okay.
there's like a whole like a sub group groups I should say bands that try to do music in the vein of the Weezer Blue album.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you ever heard of this or not, but they try to make music that they think Weezer should have made following
Yeah.
the Blue album, rather than
I
Pinkerton.
I've heard of these sort of things. Yes. Yes. I'm
Yeah,
a little familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are
Yeah.
pretty good. There's a group called Ozma. I kind of like. They definitely have that Weezer sound, and have some good music. I've got one of their albums, but it's just interesting, that there's a whole like, movement among people of,
Right.
hey, we're gonna do like the Weezer Blue album style.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've heard and seen a little bit on that. That's interesting. I never really followed down that rabbit hole. So that
yeah,
should be something I'd have to do. So I'm gonna note to that or try to look into that because I'm kind of curious to see what that would sound like. I don't know. I saw Weezer live once. Finally, he was one of those ones that I loved in the '90s, and I don't listen to probably a lot. I know they don't make a ton of new music. They still do some. I still enjoy even whatever direction they went into. So it is what it is for me.
yeah.
I don't know. So what about? So I know you've been to some concerts clearly, but what do you have a favorite? What's like your favorite you've been to?
Um, Definitely the Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Was just really really good. Um, Megadeth was really good. Um, I know I've been to kind of some other smaller ones that were people, not necessarily big names, but just put on a really good show.
Mhm.
One was a guy that I think had some kind of connection to Muddy
Oh, that's
Waters. His
weird.
name was John Primer. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, did your screen?
Yeah, what's going on here? You have hotspot login. That's interesting. What is going on here?
Hey Tone, do you care if I use the restroom real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I'll be
ahead.
right back.
I don't even know that screen is. I have no idea what's going on here. So while we've got this going on, we're gonna try and figure out what exactly is going on. No? Network login? That must be something on their side because I do not recognize that screen. Have I been hacked? Team manager is online. Hotspot login. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Can you guys still hear me out there? What is going on there? Huh. That is really weird. I have no idea. See me? No. Yeah, yeah. Um. Yeah, that's definitely not on my side. Um. What I'm gonna do is, well, I don't know. I really don't know what to do. That's so weird. Some lift music jingle in the meantime. Yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna put up my BRB screen here and see if this will see if I can figure something out. I'm gonna put this up here, guys, and hang in there. We'll figure out what's going on here. I'm gonna put my BRB
Um,
screen up. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the screen is complete. That's not on my side. This is completely an unfamiliar screen. I don't have that's nothing on my side at all. That's so odd. It's got to be on Evmux side. We'll put the BRB real quick here, and we'll see if we can figure it out. So I'm gonna do that real quick, guys, and I'll be right back as well. So hang in there. We'll figure it out.
I close out of this then and come back in, or
No,
are
I'm
you?
just gonna. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, guys, is you can sit right there. I've never had a problem with Evmux. This is the first time, honestly. We're gonna shut this down and then we'll restart the stream, I guess. So part 2 coming shortly. We'll see. Be right back, guys.